Hello, everyone. We're just getting set up here. Give me just 1 second. There we go. Michelle, we're live. Everyone, this is the lovely Michelle. You might recognize her as Jane Rose in the Facebook streams. She has become such a wonderful member of the Sam's Beach community. But what you might not know is she also works here at the shop. A lot on Beatbox and also some other items for the shop from all the live sales and such. And I invited Michelle on to do class with me today because I feel like you have such a magnanimous energy about beads that I think is going to be infectious and lovely.
Guys.
So everyone is going to be extra supported today, but I'm not worried anyway.
I'm better typing.
But you should see what wire in her hand. It's amazing.
Thank you, Sam.
So how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm a little nervous, probably a little giddy, might be a little stupid, but
it's gonna be great. So this is Michelle. I'm Sam with Sam's Bead Shop, and today's class kind of evolved into a part 2 of last week's class. I did a lead a cluster earrings class last Friday, and for today we were chatting about what we could do today. And Michelle started showing me some of her pieces, which I'll show you in just a second. And your jaw is going to be about 7 miles below the earth. And we actually got our idea from one of these pieces. So, can we show off some of your pieces?
Yes.
Oh, I saw the music going. Give me 1 second, folks.
Uh-oh.
All right. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm going to just go ahead and switch the camera around. We have
This is my first time, guys, back here. So I've never been back here before. So excuse me if I'm looking around to see what Sam's doing.
So we have it. Here's a little camera setup. So Michelle really early on showed me first. Can you tell us what these are?
Yeah. So these are handbags that I used to make years ago out of sterling silver and wire wrapped pearls and all chains. So this is the very first one I ever made. And, sorry. So these little links in here, I actually made in art school.
Oh my goodness.
And I soldered, I made them out of wire and a little ball, like I know, I probably can't see it very well.
I'm just going to give folks can see those. So these are the links you're talking about.
Yeah, the little florally like links. So I made all of those links in art school.
And this is a fully 3-dimensional piece. Did you just dream this up?
I did. It's just all wire wrapped together, and it starts from here. So it's just a bunch of jump rings. Just a bunch of. So it's just amazing chainmail basically here. It's actually very easy. So it's just you start with one ring and then you add other rings into it.
Oh, so there's a pattern going on here.
There is. So you start from that center right there. And it just works out from there, and you just keep adding and adding and adding and adding.
Have you ever used it functionally?
No, I did show them the Sundance though.
Really?
Yeah.
And what happened?
And they were too expensive. Oh. I mean, because they are all sterling silver and it's all 100% handmade.
Shire would go crazy for these. Just look at all these pearls.
Yeah.
How many of these have you made?
What you see right there, those are the.
This is the entire collection.
I mean, because. It's a lot. This is when silver was probably $6, $4 to $6 an ounce. So I couldn't do them now. I did them for fun and exploration and teaching myself this technique, which I taught myself. I made up this technique and taught myself how to do it.
So this is one of the first things Michelle ever showed me of her work, and then I got to see some of the jewelry she also makes,
which doesn't have clasp on it. Sorry.
Will you tell us a little bit about this bracelet?
So, it's a little cluster bracelet with my favorite cut of stones, a melon cut of gemstones.
Wow.
And these are fluorites and labradorites. And there's 2 stones on each jump ring. And so this one, not so much as the smaller ones that I used to do, but as you put them together, you alternate the colors on each side. And so it kind of ends up spiraling around. I don't know if you can see that too.
Yeah, and that's,
this one, like I said, this one not so much.
But this is kind of what inspired today's class, is this idea of creating a spiral design using clusters. And I love your use of gemstones here.
Thank you.
And is there anything else you we could show off? You had some of your chains.
Yeah, so this is the okay.
Oh, that's fine. You can show that.
Yeah,
it's similar.
This is another thing made out of it's a handbag. Again, made out of chain links. Sterling silver. Sorry, sterling silver chain links. So this was a chain. Sorry. So this right here was an actual chain that was cut apart and then reconnected together to make. So you can see this is all the jump rings, and then connecting them all together.
It's just
can you see that?
It's just so imaginative. Wow, that's incredible.
And again, all sterling silver.
Amazing.
When sterling silver was $4 to $6.
Yeah, I hope this gives folks a little taste of like what like.
But this is fun.
Up.
If you can, this is actually a really fun and easy technique to do. It's just a lot of wire wrapping. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's a lot of wire wrapping. You have to like to wire wrap.
That's a little bit what we're going to be doing today.
So I'm going to be doing this one.
We're going to start a little simpler for today's class.
But this is what you guys are already doing. You guys are already doing this.
Well, that's why
it's wire wrapping, and then you just linking it together and alternating colors.
It's just it's incredible. So let me put these safely over here. Wow. And so today's project is focused around the cluster and this spiral idea of the clusters. So we're thinking of using some beads from the December box. So we grabbed both these 10 millimeter beads here.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing working on a bigger one, but normally I would do them much smaller, but we're kind of limited in the jump ring size that we have here today, so I'm working a little bit bigger today.
Do you have those jump rings? Oh, here they are.
Yep.
We're using some TRCast jump rings. And so the idea we had is we're going to try to collaborate on today's bracelet, where Michelle's going to do all the hard work doing the clustering for about half the bracelet. And then I'm going to come in with pipe chain and show a Nile technique of wire wrapping either end of the pipe chain to create the other side of the bracelet. So I get the easy job today, and I just get to watch the master at work here.
I did this for 7 years. Every day, 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fast. And I just wanted to show this little fold over technique, but unfortunately the beads are a little bit big for that.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning though.
Yeah. So if you have scrap, so if you guys, I don't use a lot of head pens personally, but if you're using head pens in the area that all that extra wire, you can use that extra wire to do this.
And you can of course just use your roll of wire to do this.
Yeah.
So this is just a fold over head pin that you've made.
Just a fold over head pin.
But I had never seen them look so intentional. So I thought it was worth showing those really quick. And we probably are going to use head pins today anyway.
Yeah, because the beads are so big. So let me put my reading glasses on so I can see what I'm doing.
And so I've got the screen up here so you can kind of see if you're on camera.
Okay.
And I will help you out.
So I am using 24 gauge wire. I had one. Oh, I did have one cut. And I personally use really small tools.
Yeah. If you want to, just keep your
I'm
camera's about here.
Sorry, guys. I've never done this before. So my tools are pretty small. I like to work with smaller. These for me, I've had for 20 years, 30 years. These are for my jump rings. I'm sorry.
So use those together to open up your jump rings.
For opening and closing the jump. So these I made all those handbags with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are, and these are from, I think these are from Rio Grande.
Yeah.
But these are my very first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But then your tools you're using, it looks like you're using here are very pointed.
And it's the pointed ones. Thank you for doing that. I like the smaller ones for making the fold over and making my loop. And then my old horrible cutters.
Yeah. So will you show us the little magic trick of how you make your fold over look that perfect?
Yes.
Because I was mesmerized. Michelle just showed this to me, and I was like, I couldn't believe how simple it is. So Michelle's currently straightening her wire.
Yeah, and you see I didn't use the tool or anything for it. So show me where I should be.
So you kind of need to work in this general area. This is kind of your...
Sorry, guys.
No. We're here with you. So this is kind of like your landscape right here.
So I'm doing this instead of using things like this, because you don't always have to use things like that. And this works especially well. It's a little bit harder with the check clasp because the holes are a bit big, but you can make the fold over a bit bigger to work with the check clasp. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. A little bit.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. You're almost there now.
I'm not even paying, I'm not even watching. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bigger one than I normally. Should I make a smaller one first just to show?
Whatever you like.
So I'm going to just show you the smaller one and make sure, Sam, make sure I'm on camera here. Okay, so you're just going to start making the fold over. Can you see that?
Yeah,
okay?
So if you look up here, you can see where you are.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to smush it. And the reason why I like smaller pliers is because I can get a better.
Right. I find the smushing the trickiest part here.
You just do it carefully. But once you get the hang of it, you can do it really quickly.
But then there's another step here that I would have never thought
just
of.
Cut it. So I'm sorry I have really terrible cutters, unfortunately. So you're going to go.
It's doing the trick.
You're going to go really closely in there. Oh, can I see? Okay. Okay. And then you see, just cut it.
So you're actually cutting the excess off the folded over end.
And I'm just going to smush it again, just a little bit. Like I said, this is going to, because I like a really tight fold over. Can you see that?
So then that allows you to actually put a bead that has a smaller hole.
It looks much
right
better
onto there.
With gemstones. The check glass is a little bit trickier because the holes are a bit bigger. Like all of these are all gemstones, and so the openings and the holes are much smaller. So that's why you can get these teeny tiny little foldovers
to work.
If you can see that.
What if you used if you came with a thicker gauge? What different would that help?
I can try it. It's just that it's easier to wire up for personally with the smaller gauge. But let me try this.
So Michelle was just used a 24 gauge German style, and here is a 22 gauge. So just one step larger in size.
It might work better for the. And if anybody has any questions, let me know.
Yeah, if you guys, you have a wire wrapping expert here.
Yes, I did this every day. I used to train people how to wire wrap.
Because you used to work in production.
I did. I worked in production. Can people still see me on camera?
Just a couple more inches. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's a little bit far away for me down here.
I still am not on camera for my classes. It's okay. We do our best.
So you can see how I'm just kind of smushing it. And then I'm going to cut it really, really short.
It's that cut. So it makes it almost invisible.
All these like delicate little tools make it much easier. Like these, unfortunately, these got ruined at my other job by cutting steel, which I didn't realize was steel.
Yeah.
And you can't buy these cutters anymore. I had had these cutters since college, since 1996.
Yeah, so basically your goal is a flush cutter that can really get in there, like something like a Tronics to get in there.
You want a very close cut and a fold. And the tighter you make it, and you will get really good at this, it just takes a little bit of practice.
So this is our test. We don't know if this fixes the problem.
No, see, it still goes through.
But maybe with one of those 4mm beads we were looking at.
Try it with this one.
Do you have the 4mm over there?
Oh.
Well, I have this hunch that maybe this would now work with the 4mm because those holes are smaller.
What bead am I looking for?
I get a 4mm fire polish.
Those?
Yeah, either of these are 4mm.
Oh.
This is still a test. So which does either of those help?
Well, I was able to do it with the smaller wire on these. I just had to make the fold over a little bit bigger. And I can show those. Yeah. But see, for me, it doesn't have the same, it works, but it doesn't for me. Oh, sorry. It doesn't actually have the same delicate look as that does.
Because you're noticing it more.
Yes, I'm noticing it more after doing it forever.
Gotcha. But I think for folks who are looking for a head pin in a pinch, like that's still pretty impressive.
And you might actually make it even smaller too. Let me see. Cut it one more.
You can cut a little bit more. I'm very curious because I love Michelle. Y'all, let me try to get a good close-up for you. It creates just a little, and so I went like, could that be repinch, or is that probably like the end of it? Like, because you were pinching it after each time you cut
when
it.
I fold it over, then I pinch it, then I cut it, and then I make it a little bit small. And then I pinch it again.
It's just a nice bit, because I think we're always looking for more ways to make a head pin.
And you can do it with your scrap wire.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a little piece of wire, you can do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, that's because I was really lazy at my old job years ago. And I didn't want to oxidize wire, so I would pick up the scraps off the floor that were already oxidized. Mm-hmm. And I got really those. I could do it with an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could do this, but I don't know where they're at. Little ones. Oh, these. So I could do these little ones like this with an inch of wire that I would collect off the floor.
Yeah.
Because I was too lazy to oxidize wire.
So for today's idea, where do you want to start?
I think well, so you're going to use this?
So I'll use the pipe chain.
I would, I just wanted to show people the fold over, but I thought maybe I'll just work with the bigger beads and we can make a big crazy cluster, and maybe we could add some of the smaller ones that I wire wrapped earlier in.
Sure.
We'll see. See, this is
I love a little experimentation.
So this is what I used to do. But unfortunately, the jump rings are a little bit big to create the spiral. Look. Oh, there we go.
But when you held it up to me, you started to see the spiral. So the only adjustment basically that Michelle did since from the technique we were talking about last week is that it's a little
sorry guys.
There we go. Is that she's alternated. Oh, is it even more? Okay. Oh, so let me just move this bead over.
It alternates.
Let me move that.
But it takes a little bit of time to get it started. So, and I'm used to working with a little bit smaller ring, and my stones would always be the same size.
So you're on either side. Okay, so make sure folks kind of get the concept. On either side is a different color, and then you just keep switching it.
You just keep switching it, and then eventually, like, it'll create a spiral. But it helps to have a little bit smaller jump ring.
Mm-hmm. To keep it make it a little tighter.
It's a little bit more compact.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, so you were using the smallest
I used the smallest one that you had.
Even smaller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing is, if you're making a bracelet, you want to make sure that you have a heavy wire gauge. Because see how
for
heavy?
The jump ring.
For the jump ring.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because a lightweight one, if you get it caught on something, it'll break. So these are all very these are probably 18 or higher gauge jump rings.
Nice. All right. So instead of doing itty bitties today, we're going to do 10 millimeter size. Yeah. And we have 2 head pin options.
Yeah.
I want to show the ones we do have in the shop, the ball head pins.
Over here.
One thing I didn't think I told folks properly is that we do now carry these ball head pins from Bead in the shop. One of my favorite types of head pin because it's so pretty. So you get little packs of 24 of these. I think we have in silver and possibly one other plating. So we do actually now have more head pin options than we did before in the shop. So definitely check these out.
Thanks.
When you're checking out your next order. Also, what are you wanting to use today?
Well, I'm going to probably just use these, but I'm more apt in my own work to do it by hand.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have a lot of these things home. But I wanted to show one more thing. Actually, you can take. Do
you want to get here?
You can turn this into a small spiral. You know the little spirals that everybody does on the bottom. If you don't want a big one, you can just do a small one and use it as a head pin as well. So I don't know if anybody makes the spirals this small.
So you're going to make an itty bitty spiral head pin?
Yep.
So you're taking your little fold over.
Yep. So I'm taking the fold over that I already did.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm here with you.
And then I'm just going to. Okay. So see, for me, there's way too much space on that.
Yeah, let's get folks. I mean, it's not quite as tight as you want it to be.
Right. So I'm going to go in.
Here, let's make sure.
I'm sorry. All right, guys, that's my.
Do you want to scoot your chair a little bit forward, maybe?
My first thing on camera here. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Here, I can give you one. I think that's the issue, actually, that you're far from the desk here.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
All good.
So what I'm going to do, oh, I can see right there. So I'm going to try and make this a little bit smaller. Actually, you know what? The wire size for this might be a little bit big for me. So I'm just going to try and pinch it in a little bit. Normally, I would do this with 24 gauge wire.
Oh, you use a thinner to do this.
Yeah. So you can see. You see the little spiral?
Hold up a little higher here.
I just was showing you as well.
Oh, yes. But
see how little the spiral is? Now you can make this into a...
So you kind of break in the neck, sort of centering it. And what does that look like with a little bead on it?
Okay. Let me see which size I can put on there.
Michelle has the whole December box in front of her, picking out her favorite bead.
Well, the ones that I really like are these little cubes. Those little cubes are really cute. But I'm going to take the flower, actually. If I can find... Sorry, guys. I'm going to see if I can find the hole.
I keep seeing it.
I'm a little bit far from the...
What if it doesn't have one?
No, I'm not.
Oh, there it is. You're almost there.
Okay, there it is. Right, so this is, if you like that little spiral look, you just make it into a head pin.
And it's kind of a similar version, just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, so you guys do, a lot of the people I've seen
do the knotted head pins.
No. They do the big spirals.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is just a smaller version of that big spiral that I've seen some of your some of the people on the page do.
Right. I never thought of making it tiny, so it's just a little head pin.
Yeah, it's a little head pin. Yeah,
Cute.
These are all the things that we used to do all the time in the company that I worked for. Yes, one by one.
So I think we should jump into doing the project. Yep. I'm actually gonna, off camera, I'm gonna start working. Oh, maybe if I'm on, I'll try to be on camera, but probably hard. Working on the SilverSilk. It's really a desk for one, but we make it work for two. Because we like friends here at the shop.
So do I need to be like working down here, or just doesn't matter?
You mean for what?
Oh, no, I didn't know whether if I should be showing people.
Yeah. So what you want to walk us through what your work? How?
I'm just wire wrapping.
So you're using the two of the beads from the December box, and are you going to do kind of that spiral idea with them?
Oh, what, the head pin spiral idea?
When you're assembling the cluster, is that your eventual goal?
I'm going to try, yes.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm used to doing it with a little bit tighter jump ring, a little bit smaller jump ring, and smaller beads.
So how much do you have a sense of, I'm curious if I gave you enough beads. Yeah, because our goal is about half the bracelet. And then...
Ooh, that was a bad wire wrap.
Will you actually walk us through one of your wire wraps? Because I feel like everyone does it a little differently.
Oh, that was really bad.
Yeah, let's do it. Will you walk us through one?
Sorry, I just need to get situated here. All right, so.
I can move this a little farther over to you if that helps as well. Oh, that might help. I went out a little bit, so now you have a little bit more space to show.
Okay. All right, so. I just fold it over. I don't do it a little bit higher or anything like that.
You fold it. Oh, you fold
just fold it right over
the bead. All right, just a little bit higher up.
Okay, so sorry. Okay.
This is where the biggest. That's the only main difference of showing on camera is I work right in front of my face when I wire wrap.
Well, normally I would be, but I'm trying to do it here. All right.
So your wire wrap, none of your wire wrap loops have. So you don't leave any space on yours?
No, I'm doing a spiral on the top. So, but I'm not used to using I'm sorry guys, I'm not used to using the German style wire. So what I just do is I do a little spiral on the top. Can you see that? So I'm not doing a long, I'm doing a spiral on the top.
You're spiraling it and then kind of bring it in.
And I would normally do it a little bit longer.
And it ends up looking like a normal wire wrap loop here.
And it just creates a spiral on top of the bead. And I'm doing that because
so it's actually cutting up
this wire is a little bit heavy than I would normally use, which is why I'm doing that. or the head
The
pin.
head pins are
The
heavy.
head pin's a little bit heavier than I'm used to doing, so I'm doing that little spiral. And then I'm going to straight because I'm crazy. I'm going to straight.
No, I think it's, well, if the next time you do it, if you show it, because I think it's really helpful to know how you adjust a piece, how you adjust a loop once if you're not fully liking it, because I think we all make micro adjustments to it.
I'm self-critical.
I think we all have this, and we want to learn from you. When you're in these moments, what does it look like?
Again, so just so everybody knows, I'm used to using 24 gauge sterling silver or a gold filled wire, and half hard.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm used to using. That's what I did for a number of years. So my muscle memory is in that space. All right, so I'm going to try this again.
Once more.
Okay. So I'm just folding it over just like that. You can see, just folding it over on top of the bead. And then I'm going to wrap it around like that. If anybody can see what I'm doing, I'm so sorry.
No, I think it's getting better. That's good.
So like I said, I just folded it over, and I'm just going to wrap it on top of the bead.
I got my chai tea. I feel like it's been freezing here lately.
You feel like it's been freezing. I don't know if nobody may have heard my story. My windshield cracked last week when we had a frozen morning, and I was driving to work, and I got halfway here, and the windshield I watched the crack. That's and
did you make it here?
Yeah, it happened on Market Street, just like right around the corner. But I got, it's kind of a distance from my house to Market Street, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that happened. So there's no fun. So there's that.
Lovely.
And I would probably make it a little bit bigger, but I'm just trying to adjust my muscle memory to the wire, the wire gauge and this.
I mean, you've done so many of these, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm used to doing it in different metals. So I don't know if anybody has any questions, let me know.
It's great. I do really like the look of the ball head pins there.
Yeah.
Any head pin that has a nice finish to it.
Yeah, I do like a head pin, but I just
This is what you've been doing for so long.
That's what I've been doing that for so many years. Yes.
They're like micro head pins. So if you want to work on that, I'm gonna try to show folks how to.
And let me know if I need to show anybody anything.
Let's see here. Let me grab another tray to work on. We only have a million trays.
Do you want this tray?
Is it okay if I take? Yeah. All right, so we're going to work on the SilverSilk aspect of this next. So I'm using the pipe chain that we made with Nile. It's this beautiful dark blue that we added Nile added a golden wire, 32 gauge knitted over it. And we're going to actually use that as part of our bracelet. So I've gone ahead and cut a section here, just like about 4 inches. And I'm going to make this into a section of the bracelet in a little bit more intentional way that I just loved. I've watched Nile do this and it makes a lot of sense. I haven't tried it yet, but it's pretty much the same technique what we're doing with wire wrap loops. So you want a little bit thicker gauge. So Nile recommends a 20 or 22 gauge. I'm going to be using this silver plated German style wire. Yes, will be a mixed metals, but I'm using what I got in front of me today. Theoretically, there's gold on this desk somewhere, but we were already so invested in the silver that I was like, no, we're going to keep doing silver. So I'm going to get myself a nice length here, and we're basically going to center this piece. And what we're going to do is essentially wrap our own end caps onto the SilverSilk. This might be something you've seen Nile do as an alternative to using the pipe chain end caps that he did later come out with. So all you're going to start with is folding those over on either side, so that'll kind of hold the pipe chain in place. But step one is just basically have some almost parallel wires running from your pipe chain. Essentially what this is a silicone rubber tube that is then encased in the knitting. So it has a nice flexibility to it, and by adding the wire in, we're adding a bit more structure. So from there, I'm going to add some loops, and my only goal here is to add one section that Michelle's lovely cluster can attach to. So instead of doing a cluster bracelet all the way around, the idea is we're going to try out seeing what it looks like as half the bracelet. So I'm going to come in here and make my wire wrap loop.
It's crazy to be back here. I watch all these live feeds all the time. I watch all the bead sales, and this is the first time I've ever actually been back here.
What do you think so far?
It's cool. I'm a little nervous, a little shaky, and I got to learn how to get everything in the right spot.
I remember when I first started doing these classes, it was kind of terrifying. I mean, I only hosted classes at first, right, and then eventually started teaching some of them. So I've started by doing about one wrap so far, and I'm going to keep wrapping so that I basically come on to the pipe chain itself.
Oh, that's cool. I like the pipe chain.
I love this pipe chain.
I'm going to make sure that
I might actually go ahead and do the
wire
loop.
wrap enough.
I'm going to do the loop on the other side just to help anchor and stop it from slipping quite as much.
How big do you want the cluster in there?
Oh, it is up to you.
Okay.
This can be any size bracelet.
I can just keep wire wrapping.
Whatever you like. All right, I made the loop on the other side because it was kind of pushing as I was doing this wrap. So now it shouldn't push quite as much. And let me start building up some structure instead. I'm still kind of fighting a little bit, but I'm hoping it'll start coming up. Here we go. Now it's finally up onto the level of the pipe chain and starting to encapsulate it itself.
Oh, my wire wrapping skills are not great today.
I think even on your worst day, they're probably...
Oh, no, that one was bad.
Well, Neely made this look really easy. So this anchoring on the other side seems to be key because I'm doing is creating more and more pressure against this side. So I'm going to start the wraps on this side and see if I have a little bit more success because I know the other side's very well anchored at this point. Yeah, see how this one came right up onto the pipe chain much quicker? That's what my goal is here. Doing about 4 wraps. And that just kind of helps make a little bit more of an intentional look at the end. Just like that. And so that's just going to be one side. And we'll see if we can get this other side to look half decent. Part of me is tempted just to do this step again now that we know what works. But we shall see. Alrighty, it's finally sort of. Now it's on the pipe chain. A little bit at least. And because it has that German style wire in there, we now can kind of shape this a little bit. If there's enough room in there, you could also squeeze in a piece of memory wire to give it some more rigidity. But I think this has a pretty nice flexibility to it right now. Neely did this with some earrings where he continued to bend it and then turn this into an earring, hanging some beads from either side and just making this all a little smaller. But I thought, why not apply that same technique towards a piece of the bracelet? Miss Jazz, this is the custom pipe chain that we just released. It's the dark blue lapis with the gold wire going over it. So that's going to be one section of the bracelet. I have the most boring clasp ever, but at least I had a clasp nearby, so Neely would hopefully be proud. And then we'll finish up with the rest of the cluster. So let me just attach that jump ring, and then we'll check back in with Michelle, who's...
I'm on the last one.
You're going quick over there. And Michelle will show us how she assembles the cluster part of the bracelet together. Let's see, I need another flat nose over here. We go. Are you warming back up into your, are you kind of warming into the German style wire yet? Getting used to it slowly?
Yeah, slowly. I'm going to take these.
It's kind of, let's see, does it say it on the back of this package?
Well,
where
actually,
it
I
is?
was using these.
Oh, the head pins are actually even harder, I
Oh,
think.
there you go.
Those are more work hard in the German style.
Got it.
All right.
The German style wire was fine for me. I forgot I was using the head pins. There you go.
One additional idea I did have is if I kept an extra wire coming from here, I could wrap beads onto the pipe chain.
Yeah, this is very pretty.
If I have time, I might start experimenting with some of the little beads. But I want to switch back over to you so we can see what you're working on.
Okay, so I'm trying to decide because the beads are pretty heavy.
Okay.
Which would be an appropriate... I mean, I would probably use this kind, but it might be a little bit clunky. See, this is what I mean.
So
this is what I would use.
What you're thinking about, gauge.
Because these beads are very big and heavy, and so instead of using a little, instead of using this jump ring right here, which is a great size, I just think that the beads might be a little bit heavy for this jump ring, although it probably could do it. This is a little bit more substantial, but it might be a little chunky.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So
sure.
Something probably between those two.
Okay.
Size-wise would be good. And you also, when you're making a bracelet and you're using rings like this, you need them to be sturdy.
Yeah.
Because if it gets attached, you don't want it. So I would probably be more apt to use this just because it's sturdy.
Absolutely.
But it might be a little bit. It might just be a little bit chunky.
I can tell you also your production background also because you're really thinking about how a piece is holding up long term.
Yeah, you want it to last. How long have I had this for? I made this in the late 90s.
Oh my goodness.
And it's 24 gauge wire, and then whatever gauge this was a chain from a company that's sadly no longer in business, but it's a very heavy duty sterling silver chain that it was open, so you could just open it and close unsoldered links. Great. And so you can see it's very, if you want to feel it, you can feel how heavy it is. So it's very sturdy.
There's a lot of stones here too.
And it's never the thing that would be more apt to break would be the fluorite. Everything else is fine. I mean, I can see this.
I lost my breath. I can't stand it.
I mean, but you see that? It's very sturdy. It's not going anywhere.
Everyone else lose shock.
Well, the handbags would be the same thing. You could totally
because of the metals. Okay.
Yep.
So interesting.
Right. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and use this for now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little. So I'm going to use my favorite that I've been using since the late 90s for this exact thing. And you see, I see a lot of people doing things with jump rings with a much smaller, like more like this. Ugh, it kills me.
So it's like it's easier for you
because see how much you have, and there's more space. That makes
you're able to grab more surface area.
There's more surface. Thank you. There's more surface area. So when you're opening a million jump rings and you're reconnecting them, having a nice wide.
So you find your stamina with those pliers is a lot better. Okay.
And so you can see this. I'm putting two different colors on. You can see Sorry if you can't see. Sam hit me if I'm in the wrong spot.
So you're pretty good here.
See that?
So you put both on. All right, for level
now,
1.
I'm going to open that, and you can see where I'm at. So, if anybody can see what I'm doing. So here's the 2 first ones, and then I put the ring through there. Oh my gosh, sorry. Can you see that? Oh my God.
So you got the ring, and then you're going to add your beads.
Then I'm going to put, and it takes a couple of rounds to get it going, so it'll actually spiral. So I'm going to put one on this side, and then I'm going to move it and put this one on the other side. Ooh, this is going to be a big cluster.
Yes, chunky cluster.
I'm going to do one more.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever made a cluster with 10mm beads before.
Yeah.
We were looking at what our options were with the December box. We had itty bitties,
itty bitties or larger. So then you see how there's 2 blue here. Can you see that? So I'm going to put a clear. So see how it might start to spiral.
I'm kind of following the shape of it. Okay, so if I see blue, I'm going to guess you're going to keep going up with blue. Okay.
Do blue. So you can see how it's moving. See how it's moving around. Can you see that?
Bend it up just a little bit. So you
how it's bending around.
You can totally see the row of the blue.
And so the more of those you do, when you have a big bracelet, they'll spiral it around.
You see the spiral.
It. Yeah.
I think we're going to start to see it even on this bracelet.
And so how should I just do all of these?
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't make a lot because it is. So again, when you're using a smaller bead size and a smaller jump ring, you can see, you'll be able to see the spiral more. So you can, hopefully everybody can see that.
If the smaller your jump rings are.
The smaller the jump rings and the smaller the stone is and the more compact you get, the more this beautiful, like I used to do it with 4mm pearls, button pearls. And so you get these little teeny little button pearls going. And I wish I had, I don't have any more of them, but I would show that if I had one. But yeah, it creates a beautiful little spiral. And actually, oh no, I don't want to buy beads.
I got it. I'm on it. This is like what happens every day.
Yes, but not when you're doing a live.
What color was it?
Blue.
Blue?
Wait, no, clear.
Oh no.
Well, I can just wrap another one.
I got it.
Okay. Yay. Thank you. And what were we? Oh.
I couldn't tell you.
I was talking about these little spiral, and it actually was an accident. When I designed this years ago, I never planned on that happening. It just happened. I'm like, look,
that's so lovely.
A little spiral.
Yeah, I like that. And let's do more of that.
Very cool. And so the heavier gauge jump ring that you have, the nice and sturdy it is, and you don't have to worry about it coming apart when you're wearing it. Because, I mean, obviously, this is going to be a very heavy bracelet.
Yeah, I guess we could even be designing like the center of a necklace here, too.
Some earrings.
For the right person, there's always someone who will wear it.
So you're just moving it around. I don't know if anybody can see that. I'm just moving it around as I go. Am I doing it?
You're good.
Sorry, it's hard to look at the screen and see what you're doing and looking at what you're working on at the same time.
So I get a taste of
yes.
Taste of all this.
Right. So I'm just doing this with my hand like that. All right. So. Guys, when you work in a place like this, you drop a lot of beads on the floor. There's like a whole bead shop on the floor.
Someone was talking about challenging me to make a design with anything I found on the floor.
Yeah, that would be you could make one of these. Honestly, you could just
a bead soup floor bracelet.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so I don't know if you can see that.
You can try to change the angle just a little bit.
See how it's
spiraling? Oh, wait, come down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
See how it's kind of spiraling around, and the more you do, the more obvious it'll become. So you can kind of see.
Do you want to try adding more length to that? Because I definitely
can. I just have to do a lot more wire wrapping.
I'm here with you. I'm experimenting with the SilverSilk more. That's been fun. Just trying to figure out the best way to get it really wrapped up in a nicer way. For this one, I just intentionally scooched my wire on because I was trying to build up the layer so I can then go onto the pipe chain. Having a lot of trouble with that. So for this one,
actually, I think that looks really good.
I'm just trying to realize if I just intentionally, this one I moved the wire onto the pipe chain and then wrapped, and it actually starts to make a much nicer coil.
I actually like this one.
So I'm starting. This is like each time is getting a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And then
look at you have two of them.
And this one I was like, okay, what if I do like a more cluster wrapping? I just kept going over and over it with the wire, and it also created a different sort of effect. And the last thing I wanted to experiment with was if I added on some itty bitty beads. So these are the 11O hex beads from the box.
I forgot about the little bitty beads.
Oh yeah, you've already wrapped up some little bitty beads.
I know. I mean, I should toss them in there for fun. What should I do? Should I wire up more of these, or should I toss some small beads in there?
I feel like we do need more length.
Okay, I will wire up more. And I actually have.
But I don't want to squelch your creative ideas here, though.
I have 2 of these wire wrapped already. I'm just going to use these to save some time. These ones that have.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just kind of curious how it looks to wrap right on to the pipe chain. Michelle, look how this.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
It's kind of awesome.
See,
I wish I had more wire.
I want to tell everybody that I have never worked with seed beads until I started working here.
And you watched some of Danielle's classes.
Yeah. Oh my God, I die.
Have you tried any of the projects yet?
Of course not.
Wait, show the embroidery. Do you have the embroidery you just did? Oh my goodness.
Here's some more wire.
Oh no, yeah. I have.
Oh, okay.
I have more wire, just not connected currently. But.
So Danielle is amazing, and I actually watched her. I've been dying to learn crocheted beaded necklaces.
Okay.
So she had a class that I saw on crochet beads, and I got it. I just got to do it.
What was that?
She's amazing, Danielle. If you're here, you are absolutely amazing.
I agree.
And I like.
So Michelle, she's not giving herself credit because you just did that embroidery using some wildfire.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. It's a hot mess on the back.
Where is that though?
Oh, I gotta go get it. Sorry.
No. I just want to show it off.
I didn't bring it. I left it over there. I gotta squeeze it. Sorry. I gotta squeeze through. I hope you can see me trying to squeeze through.
I'm just gonna experiment a little bit more with this pipe chain wrapping here. They just take a second to turn back on. Looks like they're on. All right, so these are just the 11O hex beads, and they're so subtle that I think that's part of the reason it's working well on the pipe chain. And I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just taking this as a 22 gauge wire and trying to be at least a little bit even about it, and wrapping the length. Oh my goodness, you have to show this off, Michelle.
Oh.
I see lots of beads from the shop there.
Yeah, well, they're all from the shop.
Oh my goodness.
Well, except for the teeny tiny little these ones, whatever those. I guess those are. I think they're 11s. I don't know.
So Michelle had this this other type of flat mesh from
very old,
before
like
Nile
20 years ago.
And she experimented. How does this come together? What's the basic technique here that attaches it?
It's thread. Whatever the
so some of the wildfire.
Yeah, the stuff that Danielle used in the owls kit. What was that color? That green color? The owl. The first thing that I ever. Yeah, Owls of the Earth kit. So it's that color, whatever. See, guys, I'm totally clueless about this stuff because I'm a metal person. Is it wildfire?
The wildfire.
Wildfire, the green, which is gorgeous.
But
So,
you knew how to embroider, so you used.
yeah, I've done a lot of embroidery in the past, but I haven't done anything with beads on fabric since I was like 16. But I just experimented, and I thought maybe I would actually like to make a whole bracelet with, because I really like the SilverSilk, the flat. I mean, the colors are gorgeous, and I actually bought some for myself. The turquoise and the gold, the colors are so. So I actually bought this set for myself because I fell in love with the colors.
Yeah, these are the two for folks who haven't seen it yet.
And I thought maybe I might
experiment doing something.
Yes, and I would like to actually maybe sew a bunch of flowers onto them, but I might have to sew them together
to make it
like
wider.
That to make, well, I don't necessarily have to make it wider, but I fell in love with these flowers. I bought these here early on.
I love those.
Yeah, and they have the gold on the. They have like a copper color on the other side, but we won't show that other side. That's hot.
Well, that's why when we were talking about this, it's not really.
Well, I had to because this, it kept coming apart. That'd be the one thing that I would say. It's not particularly sturdy for stitching, so it may need. This is a total experiment for me. It may need some sort of what do I call it? Like an interface.
Like a backing.
Yeah, a backing. But you can just get an interface and probably just iron it on, and that would make this sturdier. But again, it was just a total experiment for me.
I love the creativity.
Last night after working all day, trying to think of like, oh my god, what am I gonna do for this live?
And you came up with this amazing technique. I feel like you're onto something there. All right.
I love to stitch stuff. So.
All right, my component,
I love that.
My side of the bracelet.
Oh, I haven't continued what I'm supposed to be working
You're good.
on
I got the easy job here, so I'm just having fun decorating pipe chain.
Cool.
And
I love these colors. Oh, they're so gorgeous.
So let's see how these are starting to look together.
Okay, let me get that.
And then we could also do a third section. This could be like a focal section.
Actually, I'm looking at it's kind of chunky.
Well, what if that's
maybe we shouldn't make it so big. It's looking kind of chunky. Oh, we're making a bracelet, right? Never mind.
Well, it could be whatever we want to be.
Well, I was thinking for some reason my brain went to necklace. I'm like, oh, that's really chunky, but
even that the center of a necklace.
That'd be cool as a bracelet.
Focal of a bracelet.
Yeah, got it.
I don't know. I could make another one of these if you want to. If you don't want to do more of that.
Do it. Yeah, let's play. Let's figure it out.
Here, you keep going on that.
Okay,
see where you get.
These.
I'll try to make one more of these, and we'll see if we have a bracelet.
I'm not distracted with this. But I do really want to experiment with stitching it more. I just, like I said, maybe Neely has an idea for that.
Yeah,
tell him I want to stitch, or maybe Danielle does.
Neely and Danielle collaborated on some stuff, so maybe there's some insight there.
I do like to sew, so well.
Did you do some textile work also?
I love textiles, and when I came to the Bay Area from Southern California for art school, it was very hard. I wanted to do textiles badly, but I was like, okay, what am I going to make more money? What am I going to actually make a living doing? And I thought jewelry was, I chose jewelry instead.
And then you did make you were in, how many years were you in?
Years.
You went to school for jewelry making?
I went to school and I have a Bachelor of Arts degree in jewelry metalsmithing from CCA, which used to be CCAC, California College of Arts and Crafts. Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, and about 6 months after I graduated, I actually started a job in San Francisco for a fairly well-known jewelry designer who's no longer in business at this point. But I started as a production worker from home, working from home every single day.
Comfy.
All day long. So the problem with working at home is that you can't ever skip your job. So I wouldn't start working until like 5 o'clock at night, and then I'd be working until like 4 o'clock in the morning. What? Yes, I know, it was bad. And then I would take all my days off at one time, and then I'd have to work. Straight through. That's a bad thing about working from home.
I didn't know you were such a night owl.
Oh yeah. Well, man, I was telling you earlier that before I go to bed every night, I spend about an hour playing solitaire on my phone.
Michelle and I both
and
love
have to
our.
watch Colbert as well.
Michelle and I both love our online card games.
I cannot go to bed without watching Stephen Colbert as well, but because I get up at 6:15 to be here at 8 o'clock, I don't stay up every night for that. But when I was in college, or even before I came up here to go to college, I used to stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning every night.
I'm doing a little
Just always
experiment.
been a night owl.
Yeah, me too. I'm doing a little experiment here, a little bit inspired by what you were working on, where I'm trying to basically stacking my loops against the plier to try to raise the level up a bit. It's a little tricky at this level at this point, but I'm trying to get so that's closer inside. Oh, geez.
You should do that with the bead on there. If you do that with the bead on there, it'll help anchor.
Okay.
Here, let me give you a big bead.
Yeah.
So here.
I have the pipe chain piece also with that.
So if you put a bead on there, it'll anchor your wire wrapping, and then you can take the pipe chain off, and then.
But I'd have to bend the wire to anchor the bead itself, right? I was able to actually get. Shockingly, it did somewhat work.
Here.
Yeah, let's let the wire work master try it.
Well, no, I'm just going to do this. So I'm going to put something heavy duty on the other side here, just to give. Watch out for, oh my God, that's a big piece of wire.
I didn't want to run out this time.
To go between my legs. So I'm going to just put this here and try maybe hold on to it. I don't.
Oh, you're going to hold the bead.
Yeah. So this is why.
Where's your third hand?
I don't know. Hang on. So
I could hold
I used to do spirals. We used to do spirals on both sides of our beads.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. Let me just.
You could bend it. You can bend.
So I'm going to just pull this off here. Just for a second. I'm just going to try and. Sorry, guys. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just trying trying to troubleshoot something here. So see if you have a bead on there, you can kind of create.
You're gonna wrap against the bead.
I'm gonna use the bead as an anchor to sort of get, but I would probably have the other side.
Here, I want to go on camera a little so we can see what you're working on.
Sorry, no, I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, it's helpful to see trouble.
Yeah. So, but this may not be the best option because it's not. See, normally, we used to do spirals on both sides of beads, but that doesn't help you in this.
No,
so I was just trying to make it easier for you to create.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But we may
you
have something to sort of do the wire up, but I'm totally doing backwards. I would never do this. It's a little bit backwards for me.
Yeah, well,
so you see what I'm doing? Oh, here.
Because I'm used to wrapping.
I don't want to lose you. Sorry.
Bye, Jessie.
Bye, Jessie. Merry Christmas.
Because I'm used to wrapping.
Yeah, so you see what I was doing? I was trying to anchor your wire, but see, it's moving.
Okay. So, yeah. So the other thing was working about.
Never mind.
No. I like it actually, but I'm still actually. If I turn it, folks, you can see that they're actually. What if I hold it this way? Take 3. I'm making a spiral on the loop. Now that's about the right height.
Nice spiral.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me put my pipe.
Spirals are hard.
I mean, I love spirals.
Oh, you should someday remind me to bring the actual necklace that I made out of bent spirals.
Bent spirals.
I might actually have a picture of it in my Instagram.
But look at this. I'm up to the level of the pipe chain.
See?
You'd have nothing. I think you've totally got us to there.
It's a problem when two things are moving at the same time. It's hard.
I'll pause on that side. Go to this side now.
There you go. See,
and then come back to the other side.
That's what we used to do with the beads, doing the spirals on both sides.
Or I'm liking this already. So let's see if we can replicate that. It's just a little bit more in my way. Oh no, I'm glad you're wearing glasses. I'm not wearing glasses. I'm not wearing any protective eyewear here.
Well, I don't have any choice. When you get to be my age, Sam, you just wait.
I've been waiting for the day. Both Rachel and I's parents, me and Rachel's parents both. Oh my God, our parents both got glasses in 6th grade, and both Rachel and I both still don't need.
I'm just saying that I never had to wear glasses until I was about 43. Never had to wear reading glasses until like 43, 45. I used to be able to make jewelry with my regular nearsighted glasses on, which means, you wear nearsighted glasses if you can't see far away. So I never had to take them off. But now I cannot do anything like this without reading glasses. And my regular glasses have to come off.
For to see up close now.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I wasn't able to get it going on the other side, but at least we sort of. I don't know how I'd replicate that, the same one I just did on the other side. Again, but I'd like the idea of it, of being able to make a spiral like that. Just getting it started would be by far the hardest part, because there's not much to hold on to. But anyway, we still ended up with the result. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the wrap on this side. This side's going to be a lot easier. I'm going to have to watch back Nilay's. I watched him, I was like, oh, easy peasy. But he's also...
Oh, shoot. I'm wire wrapping the wrong one. Where are the rest of the... Do I have any more clear beads? I don't have any more clear beads, actually.
Yeah, it was only 10 per box. I have some on my desk if you like some. Do you want me to grab them?
I'll get them. Oh,
I don't know. Let me...
Okay. Sorry, guys.
I know exactly. No.
Oh, actually, I have one that I was in the middle of doing, and I must have forgotten about it.
If you need any more, this is the last box.
Oh no.
Who's been experimenting with their December box? Friday, where am I here? My goodness, this is going to take a little bit more experimentation. Because I like the idea of adding an end cap, but
we're winging it here tonight, guys.
Because I had, when I was working on this, I was like, I did not think it was going to be quite as fussy as it wanted to be.
He wants to make a tiara. I want to make a tiara.
So you want to make a tiara with like that twist technique?
See, I saw Sarah's class, and I was like, oh my God, that needs to be a tiara. But
with the descending cadence.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be that big. But a tiara, but doing the twisted wire. Who was one of the winners of the
I don't remember
the competition
box? Who made that one?
Whoever did that beautiful sort of floral viney necklace with all the twisted wire. That's what I wanted to do
as a tiara. Yeah. I've seen Sarah form a tiara even just around like a thick gauge wire.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to use like a frame.
Well, where's the thick gauge wire?
I know. Who's got the 14 gauge wire?
I'll have to make that next time.
So I'm just
but
here.
I always want. I think there was a discussion going on. I don't know if it was on one of these or if it was on Gem Chat. Might have been. I think Shira and I were talking about it, about making tiaras. Like, oh, I want to make a tiara
of all your favorite gemstones.
Totally want to make a tiara. I might have been Shira actually who was talking about it, and I wanted to make a tiara. I'm like, oh, I've always wanted to make like a headband tiara like that with that sort of wrapped technique.
I need to learn that technique. It's actually not too complex.
Not. I actually watched a YouTube tutorial on it.
It's just twisting at the end of
it. But it's very particular. So you have to go look at because I tried it last night and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, wait a second. I'm gonna have to look at that tutorial again.
All right, so
it seems in theory, it seems really easy, but when you try it.
Is it just like me watching Neela put the end caps on without even thinking?
It's a little trick. Like I watched this woman, I'm like, oh my God, she's making it look so easy, and it's like, oh.
Here, let's see what you're doing over there.
Sorry, I'm just making this. See this? Can you see it?
Yeah, this is quite the bracelet.
We'll see how it spirals.
And I am glad we used the large beads because.
Can you see that spiral?
Here, come down a little bit. It's hard to see from this angle, but I'll change the camera angle in a second to really show it. And I'm glad we're using the large beads because you'll be able to see the spiral a bit.
But make one in smaller beads.
Yeah, don't necessarily do this size, but the technique is the same.
It's incredible in smaller beads.
And then I feel like we can put this together, and we'll have the end of our experiment. We'll have a final result.
This might be a little heavy. I would never do this with a side of beads. It's very heavy.
I mean, this is like turning into one of my favorite style of necklace at this point. I love those sorts of.
Oh, I do too. I've been making cluster things like this forever. Oh, that sounded very like clueless. Forever.
No, but you're got something going with it there.
Okay, I need to wire up one more thing. Oh, these beads here.
Let's see here. So all I'm doing to finish off the wrap, these are 11-0 hex beads. I'm just going to anchor it right back to my wraps. Just a few more wraps, it'll be fine, and cut the end. I'm also curious how large this bracelet is because I'm not measuring a thing. That wasn't the goal here. The goal today was to figure out what works and what doesn't work.
We're just winging it here. That's because Michelle didn't know what she wanted to do.
I think you had lots of ideas.
But my ideas always take like 10 hours.
Well, how long do you think each of those purses took you to make?
It depends on what kind of roll I was on. I mean, I could generally stay up all night wire wrapping, and you do it long enough, you get really fast at it. And I always hear people say, oh, wire wrapping is the hardest. And it's practice, practice, practice. I used to train people to wire wrap, and they would spend 8 hours a day, 7 days a week wire wrapping. So they
got really good.
And we would make clusters like this. So we would wire wrap a bunch of things like this. This is a great way to sort of get practice. So I just wanted. It's very heavy, so I'm just going to stop.
No, but I really hope folks try this cluster technique because we went over the basic cluster last week, and now you've made one adjustment that makes it look intentional. Because I was doing random. With the mixes last week, and
it's just about switching. It takes a minute to get started, but once you get started, it's pretty easy, and just switching the colors. And you have to switch. You kind of switch it in your hand as you're going. I can already tell that we've made the world's largest bracelet. Well, here, maybe you should make it. One good thing about this, it's easy to take apart.
I know, but at this point, it's great.
That's what I like about a jump ring bracelet. And it's such a nice size ring. See how much easier it is to open and close. And then it's sturdy. And do you like these tools? These white?
I'm liking that wider one. I try your other wider one.
Yeah. See, these are
it's a
great.
Good feel to it.
Yeah. For opening and closing rings. So get another one of these rings. Oh, you got one?
I was just gonna. Yeah. Can I just open up this one?
Like I don't know how anybody opens rings with these little.
I've somehow been doing it for ages, but this is. Nope. Let's try this out.
Like I watch people do it on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it with the little teeny tiny thing. And also with the crimping tools. Oh my God! Look,
guys, is it crazy?
Oh, it's so cool. Oh, it's a little bit big. It's a little bit. Maybe we should make it into put this on chain. Actually.
Which part?
Well, I think it's a little bit big for a bracelet.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. But we did make a bracelet.
It's fun.
If you added some chains to necklace.
See?
Oh my goodness.
So how's that for like a holiday Look how fun
Oh, you're saying
that
if I
is.
take off one of the sections, it could
Yeah.
actually might be the right
Yeah,
leg.
yeah. That's what I thought we were doing actually. So take off one of these sections,
Okay.
the shorter one. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's because I use craft wire instead of memory wire in there.
And it'd be a fun, like what
take
they call cha-cha bracelet. Is that
course.
what people were calling
Oh
them?
yeah. I'll take off this guy.
And if this ends up being too short, we can just wire wrap up some more beads and make it a little bit longer. But I suggest if you're making a bracelet is to use these higher gauge jump rings. Whatever. Do you sell those rings on the shop?
We saw some of the rings. We saw we're building up the collection.
Yeah, this is
so many.
right here. This one.
Yeah, I don't think I have the big ones yet, but let's see here.
Especially for something that heavy.
Okay, let me see how much length we need to add. Can I use you as a reference?
Well, that'd be actually good.
So we just need I just need to add about an inch.
Actually, you could probably just do you have a toggle? I would just do a toggle.
I have a lobster on there, so I just need to add a few more jump rings.
Okay.
Or see do you want to do a finish us off with a wire wrap loop on?
Wait, let me see. What are we doing here?
We just need about an inch of length, so I can do a few jump rings here.
Oh, you need an inch of length.
So how about we can?
Well, see, that's fun, right? So see how I don't know if anybody can see that. You see how it spirals around? Can you see that?
Yeah, that's gorgeous part of it. I really like that spiral idea. I don't think I've ever tried that before.
It's just alternating the colors.
So I'm just gonna hook together a few jump rings.
Oh, okay. I switched in. You want me to help?
And then
see, isn't this a nice size ring? It's so nice. Oh, these are yours.
Oh, you know what I think I do because I use pointy ones. I always come lower down on it, where it is thicker.
Mm-hmm. So that's why if you have a thicker, these ones right here, you don't have to worry about that.
You don't. Right.
These are perfect for opening and closing chain links, jump rings, and these are the ones that I started out at the company that I learned this technique from.
Mm-hmm.
They suggested these, and
you're using thicker ones. You found even thicker ones in that box.
I like. I picked the thicker ones.
All right, let's see.
Well, that was for because these beads are so heavy, and it's helpful to have a little bit more sturdiness, which is why all these things. Remember why all these things are still together? Watch this.
Why
these things are still together?
No.
It's because it's heavy.
Not the fluorite.
It's heavy gauge.
Oh my goodness.
I like a heavy gauge.
Let me see if this.
That's the metalsmith in me.
Can I try this on you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course.
I think it'll work.
Yeah. And see, it's nice and tight, so it's not going to go. It's in a good.
Oh my goodness! It kind of worked. I kind of love it. It's
and you can kind of see how it's kind of spiraling around. It's better with a bit smaller.
The beads, yeah.
But you can get an idea.
And let's see what the SilverSilk looks like on the back side.
Oh, sorry.
We've got our decorated SilverSilk pipe chain there.
Sorry, guys. Can you see what I'm?
No, you've actually gotten very good at showing showing it. It looks great. I think we've come to the end of our bracelet. Let me flip the camera back around.
Hi, Shira. I just saw your name on the. Hi, Shira.
Yeah, let me get our camera back.
Shira and I are buddies on these. We try and stop each other from spending too much money.
There we go.
But no such luck, right, Shira?
All right, I flipped us back to the main camera here, Michelle.
Sorry, I'm like modeling my bracelet for the camera.
Here, you can show us on this camera if you want.
Well, let me put my glasses on so I can actually see something. Hi. There. Can you see?
Yeah, see this camera here.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at myself there.
Yay!
What am I doing?
It's like right
sorry, guys. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
You're doing great for your first time. Okay. Nice. All righty, y'all.
I gotta get in the right angle for this.
It looks great. We are gonna wrap up. I hope everyone has a lovely Christmas weekend.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Christmas is on Sunday. So I spent 20 years working in retail. So normally I'd be helping customers today in San Francisco at a boutique. That's what I would have.
But now you can go have your whole evening. I hope you have
I love working here, by the way.
Well, it's been so lovely getting to know you more at the shop and getting to know more you today. We appreciate all your help with the Bead box and everything so much. Thank you for sharing all this with us today.
You're welcome.
Everyone, I hope you took away some fun tidbits from Michelle today. I'm going to try out more of those foldovers headpins that we did at the beginning.
Try it with your gemstones in a smaller and 24 gauge wire.
Yeah.
And you'll.
And I wanted to get it to look like your bracelet.
You can.
I think I have.
Just
I see it now.
Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Practice, 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 everybody. That's how you get good. I taught this for 7 years every day. Practice, practice, practice.
All right,
8
everyone.
hours a day.
Have a great weekend. Thank you, Michelle.
Bye. Merry Christmas,
I'll
everybody.
see you all very soon.